Recently on social media, and especially on the comments on my videos, guys, on this channel, I've seen a lot of discussions around people thinking that AMC might, at a point, split the shares in order, and that consequently will prevent the price from hitting that 100,000 mark or even 10,000 or whatever price you have in mind. Well, guys, in this video, I'm going to try to give you a clear explanation on what a stock split is, and in which case, if that may happen, how it will impact the share price and the whole short split thing. Okay, so let's get into it, guys. Well, first of all, jumping into Investopedia, this is a definition that they give. A stock split is when a company divides the existing shares of a stock into multiple new shares to boost the stock's liquidity. Although the number of shares outstanding increases by a specific multiple, the total dollar value of the shares remains the same compared to the pre-split amounts, because the split doesn't add any value, any real value at all right? And then the most common split ratios we have, it's with either 2-for-1 or 3-for-1. Well, guys, simply put, think of it as you go to the bakery and you want to get a pie or a cake, okay? Well, the baker can decide either to sell you that pie or that cake in a single piece, okay? You will get the whole one piece. But it can also decide to sell it in different pieces, okay? Maybe split and divide the whole pie or the whole cake, and you will be only allowed to buy maybe a fourth, okay? Or maybe a third, or maybe 1/8, okay? So this is maybe a funny way of kind of describing a stock, but basically, guys, in the stock market, when a company sees that the share price is getting higher and higher, okay, like maybe you were trading at $5 and suddenly you have a lot of people buying and getting interested into your company for whatever reason, like it is the case here for AMC, and you go from $5 to $100, or you go from $5 to $200. Well, it will be more interesting for you to do a split, because by doing a split, for example, you will say, okay, if you are holding 100 shares, now we're going to do a 2-for-1, and that 2-for-1 or 1 and 2 or 2-for-1 means now your 100 shares will be worth 200 shares, okay? And it will divide the share price by 2 as well. Now, instead of the share price being 100, it will be 50. So it's much more easier for people to buy 10 shares of 10 shares worth $10 than 1 shares worth $100. Because when you look at the share price, it's like, man, it's already $100. You think it's really expensive. But when you do have the ability to buy the same stock at a $10, it gives you more shares, basically more dollars for your buck. And that's why usually companies do a stock split, because it brings much more people into holding the stock. Now, it can also have a reverse split, okay? Meaning 10 shares that you hold now may be worth maybe 5 shares tomorrow, or just 2 shares, but the share price will also increase, but pretty much it doesn't change the real value of the price. Now, this is why I think, back to AMC stock, what is the likelihood of that happening? Well, it's up to them. But they don't really need liquidity, because that is the main reason why companies do that, okay, in order to attract new investors, especially people with less buying power. So we already know there are more and more buyers coming into AMC. So I don't see the likelihood of that stock split happening, okay? And in the case it will happen, well, it will bring even more people buying oil, depending if they do a stock split, because if they do a reverse split, then the share price will even go, higher. But keep in mind that it doesn't change the real value of the stock price, because the company hasn't changed the value by doing the split or the reverse split, okay? So if for any reason the share price, hit, I don't know, 10,000, then maybe I will see why AMC will do a split, because they want to have more people getting in at a price that makes a lot more sense to them. But in the meantime, it will increase significantly the amount of shares that the holders already have, okay? But that's just my personal opinion, guys. I don't see it happening anytime soon, but in the case it does happen, it will be more in favor for AMC to do a stock split. But it will have to get to a price where, it's starting to get really, really high, and maybe they want to allow, as I mentioned, new buyers, maybe youngsters or people with less buying power to get in, to boost that price even further. Like it was the case for Apple in 2020 and the case for Tesla in 2020. Right after the split, man, the share price boom, because more people got in, because it was more affordable for them to get in. So just my 2 cents, guys.